I'm Abiola Jackson. This is the Entertainment News and Celebrity Gossip TV. This is for Sunday, June the 8th. In entertainment news, according to Hot New Hip Hop, Woody McClain had an emotional breakdown and briefly walked off the Cam Newton's podcast after asking a question. Woody McClain. He was basically on the show with Tariq. This is Power. He's known for being on Power with Tariq and the other cast members on the show. That's what he does. He's pretty much known for that role. So he was on the Cam Newton show and he broke down crying. I've never seen anything like this in my life. I've never seen anything like this. Um, a very eye-opening interview. Check this out, guys. If you haven't seen it, check this out. This is this one had a lot of this one had a pretty much a shocking. Let's put it this way: it's pretty much a shocking moment. I'll put it that way. Let's check this out.
First acting class I took in LA, they had this exercise where it's the first day of class, and you have all these actors in there. And then she sit a chair in the front of the room, boom. And she said, all right, you, come here. Sit right here. This is me. I'm sitting in the chair. Back towards the whole crowd. All right, y'all. I want y'all to tell this guy what y'all see him as. So I'm sitting in the chair. Everybody's saying, bad boy, the thug, the killer. I'm hearing this stuff. They don't know me. You know what I mean? I'm hearing this stuff. And she's like, all right, stop. She's like, all right, turn around, introduce yourself. So I turn around, I'm like,
Which one of y'all trying me?
yeah. I'm like, Woody, nice to meet y'all. Everybody's laughing. Turn back around. All right, what y'all see him as? Oh, he's the nice guy. He's the sweet guy. He's the da 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 da. But that moment made me realize people judge you before you even talk, before you even say something. You know what I mean? So before I was just picking any kind of role because I just wanted to act. But now moving forward in my career, it's like I want to be.
That's a good point that he made. Very good point by Woody McClain. Valid point. People judge you just before you open up your mouth and say something. They have a preconceived notion about you already. Excellent point by Woody McClain. That's very true. Um, hmm, he's spot on about that. I wish people weren't that. I wish people weren't like that, but unfortunately, yeah, that's the world that we live in. That's how it is at times. Let's continue.
Very strategic of what I pick because I don't want everybody to keep perceiving me as this bad person because I'm it's okay, bro.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like this. This is wild, man. I've never seen anything like it. Hmm. He's gathering his thoughts. Let him. Well, he's just thinking for a moment.
My bad. You good?
I know you are good. Don't feel rushed. If anything, lean in.
Ah, thank you, Bob.
No problem.
Nah, I work so hard to not be that, be seen as that younger Woody. You know, after that moment I had, and getting out of that moment and having that conversation with God, I just always wanted to go down just to, you know what I mean, just a better path. I want to be a role model. I want to be that person people can look up to or go to. I won't allow nobody to put me in a box. That's just how I'm feeling. Even when I
So that's the interview with Woody McClain and Cam Newton. That's the interview. So there's a lot of reaction to this. A lot of reaction to this interview. One person said here, we'll get to the reaction right away. Man, very eye-opening interview. But I'm gonna give Cam Newton his cigars. He did a good job of letting him say his piece, say what was on his mind, and when he started to get emotional and cry, Cam Newton didn't do anything. Just let him. He basically let him take his time, let everything out of his system, let him come back and sit down, and gather himself, gather his thoughts, and let him continue. I'm glad Cam Newton did that, just to let him basically um, have a moment of silence, and have a moment of gathering his getting his mindset and his thought process in the right place. Make sure he's in the right space, and then he can continue and say what he has to say. So I'm glad Cam Newton gave him that space to do that instead of interrupting him. So I give Cam Newton his cigars for that. So a lot of people have chimed in on this, and people had a lot to say about this whole interview. One person said here, "This is Superwoman." She says, "I love this, but this clip taught me something. Taught me that silence is okay. The way Cam let him have his moments, and didn't try to say a joke or something to break the silence. I learned that silence is not awkward when someone is venting, but it's giving the other person time to collect their thoughts and let them feel their feelings." That's one person's reaction to that. Another person said basically here, and that's the same thing I said too. Cam Newton handled this moment very well. I like how he didn't rush Woody or try to fill the silence. He gave him space to speak when he felt ready to. Another person said, "This is beautiful to see. A man sits in his emotions, and another man allowing space for it." I agree. I gotta get, like I said, Cam Newton his cigars for that. Like the way, like I said, I like the way he handled the situation. Another person says here, "I love that he held space for him in that moment. The silence was real. He needed that." And another person says here, "Much respect to the brother for being vulnerable and speaking his truth. The business is brutal, and he's telling it like it is." So those are basically the comments on the X Spaces or X Twitter. People were reacting to this whole interview. So that was the basic feedback. Like I said, it's a very eye-opening interview, and man, I mean, I'm just glad Cam handled this in a professional way. It's very professional, letting him, like I said, let him gather his thoughts. Let Woody McClain gather his thoughts while he's in the moment of while he's in an emotional state and crying. Let him gather his thoughts before he continues speaking. So that was a good job by Cam Newton. Man, like one person said in the comments, the business is a brutal business. So you go through your trials and your tribulations. Pretty much what that guy said in the comments, and you know that's what Woody McClain basically was saying in so many words. You didn't want to be classified and put in a box because in that business you get pressured, you get pressurized to be typecast, or you get pressurized to do certain roles and certain acting positions or parts. You get categorized in these areas, and so it's there's a lot of pressure. So it's not easy as long as you're able to, as long as you know who you are, and you're able to basically you got to get above that, or just get away from all that and stay strong and be above that, and not be sucked into all the the stereotypical roles. Don't get sucked into all those stereotypical roles. I mean, he said at the time he did it because he needed the money, but then after a while he realized, you know what, I don't want to be chasing any sort of roles. I want to do roles that I feel comfortable in, and that are right for me. That's basically what he's saying, and and that's good, because that way you're not going to be labeled, you're not going to be stereotyped and labeled a certain way. So I mean, I know, like I said, that interview wasn't easy. I'm glad he was able to get through it, and I'm glad Cam Newton made him feel at ease and made him feel comfortable. So shout out to Cam Newton. I got to give him his cigars. And shout out to Woody McClain for keeping his emotion, try to hold it, try to keep everything in check, and trying to get through the interview. So kudos to him for getting through that interview. I mean, it's not an easy interview to get through, not easy at all. So kudos to him for that. Hit the like and subscribe button. More entertainment news, celebrity gossip TV. That's all I got to say about this. Nothing else. That's it. Until next time, peace and out.